everyone, welcome back to the Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and thank you so much for joining me here today and all the support in the past couple videos and the channel as a whole. We have a great game for you all today. We have Valdemar1902 as the Chinese in the green in the bottom side of the map. Valdemar is a great streamer and YouTuber, so we'll link both of his links in the description below. Would highly recommend him, especially his YouTube channel, for build order guides. He's been producing a ton of them, and they've been incredibly helpful. And one of them is have been helping me in my journey to Ottoman. So we'll see if we can get still get up the Ottoman numbers up there. Across the map, we have Divine DFP in the blue as the French. Oh, we can zoom in again. Look at that great stone logo in the middle. Divine is also a wonderful streamer. Would highly recommend watching them. They have a little bit of a unique, both players have a little bit of a unique play style. Sometimes they like to go for some, just make things a little bit more interesting. So we'll have to wait and see if we see the standard build orders or if we see something unique. We'll leave Divine's links in the description below as well. We have Divine going and collecting all those sheep. The French feel so good right now, but China, as always, forgot to do that. China, as always, is one of those things where if you get them to the late game, they're going to be good regardless of what happens. So the sheep decide to go a little bit farther than they normally would, and they quickly corral back up. Like, I don't want to go too far. But the French feel really strong at the current moment with that villager build speed bonuses, with just the power of the early French knights, the map control that you get. You can quickly transition to archers as well, as long as you have plenty of food production. One of the weak points about the French is definitely those having to go out on the map to get those food resources, but China struggles with the exact same thing, at least until those granaries come into play. That being said, I think it does lean slightly in favor of French early, and then China as we go late game. The French have definitely some things at their disposal, but a fully set back, juiced up China is going to be way too good to put a stop to. There is the early school of cavalry, as you come to expect from these French players. Let's take a quick little look at the base alignments. Unfortunately for Valdemar and the Chinese, he does not have any forward wood lines, so it's going to be a little bit harder to wall off everything. It's kind of wide open. This is exactly what you want to see if you are Divine when you're scouting. You're like, wow, this is wonderful. His entire base is just wide open, just very raidable, which is really good when, of course, you're going to have a French knight coming into your base at around that 5-minute mark. China will probably respond with an early barracks, but we have to wait and see. And then going across, we do see the standard kind of thing. Divine has at least one tree over here, but I don't think that we're going to be seeing any feudal age Shogunate all-ins, so I think it should be totally okay, but you never know. There's always a possibility of those things happening. I wouldn't be surprised to see a second TC or some people on stone very soon. I've been seeing it very much more common with French players because of how good their economy is, and those early French knights can buy them so much time that they're allowed to really scale up quite easily, which is, I think, really I've been struggling with against as like the Ottomans, as the English, whatever it is I'm playing. It's always kind of hard to deal with that the French can get a safe eco, and then on top of that also have map control. It's very troublesome. And then on top of that, if you don't kill off that second TC with their juiced up villager speeds, they can really start to produce a lot of villagers very quickly. And there it is. There's the stone outcropping. Not really surprising. We're probably going to see it dropped on this deer over here or this deer over here. Either one, whatever suits Divine's liking. If you have made it into this far into the video, I'd highly appreciate it if you dropped a subscription down below. Hit that little button for me, and also drop a like. It helps me out immensely. We're on our way to 1,000, and I couldn't be more happy about how it's going. I've also been streaming a lot more, so please do go check out my Twitch stream in the link below. If you want to watch, if you can't watch when I'm actually live, I also have all the VODs up there as well. You can see how much I've struggled or done well with the Ottomans. I'm not going to tell you. I would say it's about a 50-50 shot. So I would go down there, check it out if you do have the time. But now we finally see some action rolling out across the map. We have this one French knight rumbling, tumbling, stumbling towards the base. Actually, he kind of is rumbling, tumbling, stumbling. Like, you see that little... You see his little like leg kick out to the left-hand side? Almost took a little bit of a tumble. Oh, we have some... That guy just came out of nowhere. That's what happens when you're zoomed in. I'm not ready for it. We have 3 of these spearmen quickly telling that knight off and getting them out of the picture. The rest of the Chinese base is pretty safe. I mean, this is maybe a little bit susceptible, but could get into a little bit of a difficult situation if these spearmen are in position. And we love to see this, just protecting the lads. They're not allowed in the slightest. Actually, we're going to get some nice pokes here. The knight will get a... No! Valdemar with the fancy feet, the tippy taps, able to skirt that villager all the way around that rock formation and make him safe and sound, because of course the French knights have, not only do they have that charge like every other knight does, but they also have increased bonus damage for 5 seconds after that charge. So a French knight, and if you mess up your charge as a French knight, it's actually devastating. So for all you newer French players, really try to make sure that you micro to make sure that that charge does go off if you're trying to harass. But as you can see also, like, this is just one unit. This is one unit. It's now produced 5 spears at this point. It's causing absolute chaos. He's caused idle time, and it just cost him like 240 resources, I believe. Yeah, 240 resources. That's it. And of course, he didn't get the trading second landmark, but no one, I mean, you don't really need that one at this point. You could do it, especially against China, but you don't need it. So the fact that the French get so much value out of this, it's just crazy. And it's still Roman. Look at this. And no matter how good these players are, Valdemar, incredibly good player, very good Chinese player. Look at how much annoyance this is to deal with. Just constantly going around and around and around. And all while this is happening, Divine set up shop. Already has a second TC fully up and running. We have a 2 villager lead already. And this is only going to continue to grow. And Divine's only had to invest 1 knight into it. This is what makes the French so strong at the current moment. And if you are new to the game, or you want to pick up a new civilization, and unlike me decide to pick up the Ottomans, I would highly recommend you pick up the French. They're good at so many different things. And here we go. It is now, somehow this knight is now found its way into the stone line. After all of that, it still gets a villager kill. Like, let's just repeat that for a second. After all that shenanigans, it still finds its target. And we do have the town center dropping down here. The reason why Valdemar moved these spearmen away is to protect this town center in the backhand side. Really wanted to make sure that they could compete with the French economy. France now has a 7 villager lead already, and we're going to see that this knight and scout, the classic tandem, the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, if you will, of this game mode at the current moment. This knight actually might get corralled here a little bit, but it is going to find its mark yet again. Another villager is down, and this thing escapes again. Divine is on one right now. He's absolutely feeling it. Divine, look at that. Look at that bandit just skirting away. We do love a zoom. Thank you, Age of Empires 4 developers. I appreciate that you heard my calls for the zoom. And now we get to see, the night right off into the sunset. I don't think it really changes climates here or like times, but the sunset nonetheless. 2 kills, that much idle time, bought a lot of time. That being said, China is definitely Song Dynasty, so this is probably the one that you actually have to do a lot of damage to actually kind of make it there. But as you can see, we're starting to catch up. We're already down by 4, and Valdemar will just continue to do that. They have 15 seconds. This is the one nation you probably don't want to tango with, that and the Abbasid as the French. But that being said, you also have the ability to have French knights, and they do not, so it's always a positive. And there are the infamous Zhuge coming out for Valdemar. These things absolutely evaporate anything that's in front of them. Of course, the most important thing against Zhuge is that ranged defense armor. Now, this is because Zhuge fire off into 3 bullets, or 3 little bolts, and each one, that range armor will help it reduce by 1 damage each time. So if you want to go over here and check this out, there we go, 4 damage per repeating bolt. If you get that, it goes down from 12 to 9. So it's a very, very big upgrade. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if we get it from very soon from Divine. We actually have arrow slits going down for one of the towers. Where is it? Classic yawn. Over here on the deer is where we find the keep. I mean, this is great. I have to do better at this, and I would highly recommend that anyone does this from platinum and below, even early diamond. Make sure you build an outpost with your out. If you're going to be going out in the map to get these, leave 5 out here so they can all get in it. And if you're going to put 10, put 2. Put 2 towers or 2 outposts. But make sure you have protection for them somewhere to go. Because the amount of times I've been raiding people with my Sipahi in the gold elo and there's nothing, and they click the go home button / protect button, these villagers get on their Nikes and run all the way back home, and they get picked off by the time they're done. We do have a scout picked off in the middle of the map, which is, that's pretty standard. We do have quite a large Zhuge mass kind of forming, especially with this front line of spearmen. So it's actually going to be pretty daunting to deal with. I think Divine's going to realize that he cannot take this battle. We do have the Zhuge looping all the way around, but this wall over here will prevent that from happening. And there they are. The Zhuge are able to roam freely throughout the cabin with this little front line of protection, which is always nice. Divine is really starting to make a mass of units, though. We do see both sides. As you can see, the army numbers are slightly in favor of Valdemar, but the army value is heavily in favor of Divine because of these bad boys right here. Chivalry is out, so this thing should start to heal up in no time. There it goes. It begins a little healing process as we go, as it just waits dauntingly outside of its opponent's base. We have a little wall over. The walls are starting to completely come up. Valdemar's looking to take full control of this backhand side. 2 gold veins as well, including a stone outcropping. And we also got the deer over here, and secures these berries as well. So Valdemar is looking to really take it to them. We do have the French army moving over here, trying to find a weak point in this Chinese mass. And the weak point is definitely hitting it from every single angle. There comes the knights. They're going to be looking to burn this down, which they can do quite quickly. They get those Molotov cocktails out. They're throwing, but a smart play here from Valdemar. All right, you can get through that first line. No worries. I'll just build a second line of defense. It's all good. It's not that deep. And now we have 33 Zhuge out on the map. Now, even these 10 French knights into this army is not going to be what you want. It looks like Valdemar has found a way that he might be able to get at least some pot shots onto these archers, which means these knights will either have to put up or shut up, and there they go. The Zhuge are going in. Some nice micro here. Valdemar does pop out just in time, but these French archers are absolutely decimating the front line. These Zhuge are getting a lot of nice shots off, but this is excellent micro here from Valdemar, keeping these spears at bay, but there's not enough spears just left. There's only 8 at the current moment. Some Zhuge are also fighting knights over here. Everyone is kind of coming into the battle at the same hand time. These Zhuge are trying to get through these knights the best they possibly can, but it's not going as well as you'd possibly imagine, but that we are on the Chinese side of the map, so Valdemar's reinforcements are rolling in a lot faster than his French counterparts. We do see some nice micro here, some stutter stepping going back all the way. The knights are getting in onto these Zhuge, but they're doing a lot of damage. Zhuge also absolutely evaporate this French mass, and we see 26 Zhuge still alive, but still 20 archers. So a good fight from both players. Both players are continuing to massing up. That being said, China is feeling very, very good about this game. The longer this game goes, and the more trades like that they go even, the better they're going to be feeling about. Because once that castle age sets in and beyond, it really takes it to that next level. Now, moving forward, we can see that the Zhuge mass is matching the archer mass. The knights have fallen down a little bit. Obviously, Divine does not have as much in the tank to just continue to produce that many knights. But we also don't see many spearmen either. So this army is pretty much purely Zhuge. We do have Valdemar is floating a lot of gold at the current moment. Might be thinking about going out for that castle age. Might be getting that clock tower just to see what's going on. The French are realizing that, damn, this guy is fully walled off. Divine's like, well, maybe there's something back here, so let's throw up a little ram. That being said, I think that is in Valdemar's vision, so he's going to know what's coming his way. 2 rams now coming at it, and the Zhuge mass are starting to grow in numbers. We can see 6 more on the way. We have 5 more archers and 3 more knights, including 2 more rams. This French force is looking pretty scary. But that being said, I mean, If Valdemar can get a few pot shots in over the wall, which it looks like it's going to be happening, that is a quick way to eliminate 3 or 4 archers before even realizing it. Valdemar sees that these rams have now broken through, but it's only going to be a mill close by. The rest of them are going to have a long way to go. They could find this little encampment over here, but nothing too crazy. I do think that we have the market going down, but I don't think it's in intention for trade just yet. We can go all the way back here. The rams are looking to do some damage to this mill. You know, just a little added insult to injury. The outpost is coming up over here, but this is mainly where Valdemar is getting most of their food at the current moment. We have 53 Zhuge to 53 archers, including those 10 knights. We still don't have many spearmen on the way, but more are starting to slowly pop out. The archers are trying to find a way in onto this coveted little outpost area over here, and the rams are doing their work. They can just keep on rolling. I'm surprised Zhuge mass aren't taking more pot shots at these rams. There they finally go. And as you can see how quickly they evaporate, but that's exactly what Divine is waiting for. They're waiting for them to engage on those rams so they can do a lot of damage. These Zhuge mass are absolutely evaporating this front hand side, and these archers, French archers, are doing so well. Looks like the villagers are also being pulled at the same time. Divine's actually starting to use some of his archers to take out these villagers, which is exactly what you want to be doing. The French knights are providing a great front line so that these archers can evaporate these villagers in the backhand side. The knights have been evaporated. There's still 48 Zhuge out on the map, and they're able to push off this mass forward now. Divine's going to be pulling back, but we got to be pretty happy with these 11 villager kills. But it is Song Dynasty, so they will be able to catch up quite quickly. But Valdemar is probably also feeling decently well about this as well, because they're able to hold off yet another ram attack and able to take out one of those rams. And early on, especially at this level of play, those rams are incredibly valuable. That is a lot of resources going the way if a ram does go down. We do see Divine taking full advantage of this map control and how China is fully taking it back. Taking some berries over here. I believe we also already have a full granary transition going on back here. It's absolutely beautiful. We can see it's like the fields of Kansas back here, just all that sweet corn and wheat. But that being said, 66 Zhuge are now out on the map, 46 archers into 14 French knights. We do not have enough of a front line just yet for Valdemar, but Valdemar is building that up so he can make sure he can take a few of these charges. We do have... Actually, they're going to be going for the board. Divine's actually getting pretty crazy with these food transitions, which I love to see. We see the forward berries. We see the forward boar right outside the gates of the Chinese player. And the Chinese player, if he actually get over here, this is going to be really nice. He's going to be able to take a lot of pot shots. And there we go. Almost instantly taken out. And the ram's like, oh, shit, guys, you left me over here alone. I can't really do much without it. They open the door just to shoot out. It's like a comic. It's like a movie. The archers are also trading battles, but this is without the knights involved, which is not what you want to be seeing. And look at all those villagers getting absolutely cooked. I will say that boar was a bold one. The boar is now going to be pulled all the way over here. That's actually really good. Divine's going to have to pull all the way back. And now he's just going to have an outpost. They did make a little bit of a section over here so they can get in and out quite easily. This ram is just sitting there for fodder and looks like it's going to be finally taken out. Just kidding. The ram decides to turn around and everyone decides to start shooting it. It's a gentleman's agreement. The ram deserves another life, and that's A-okay. Here we go. We have a nice concave coming in for Valdemar, and we have a lot of French knights are able to make it in onto the Zhuge. Some nice kiting backwards and some nice kiting forward from Divine. Valdemar in a piece matching the tandem in 1, 2, 3. The clicks from the Zhuge are going off, but the French knights are starting to get really in onto the Zhuge mass. Still 70 in numbers, which is absolutely crazy. Only 45 archers still remain, and there's still 16 knights out on the map. They're streaming across the battlefield. As you can see, the blue dots are making their way all the way over. We have Valdemar slowly but surely pushing all the way back into his base, hoping that this barbecue can provide a little bit of help. The French knight numbers are starting to finally dwindle down. And once it's Zhuge onto Archer, the Zhuge will win that battle. Song Dynasty is still kicking off in the background, but Divine is taking full map control. As you can see, the blue blobs are moving all across the map. Villagers and army units included. We do now have the archers are under this Barbican, which is not where you want to be. Shooting off little seeds, the Tom Brady's of Barbicans. We have the ram over here doing some damage into this village. Some nice micro there by Valdemar, able to put all those villagers in the village at the last second. and they'll finally be popping out, and Valdemar is able to run away, but is going to be losing a lot of villagers in the process. These knights are now chasing over these villagers, but these Zhuge are able to clean up this archer mass in the background. That's actually probably the only unfortunate part of this, is without those frontline knights, it makes it really, really hard for these Zhuge to get value in on these Zhuge. More knights are going down, but this is a nice engage here for Divine. Unfortunately for him, is fighting under this Barbican. The villagers are just kind of waiting outside. Hopefully they get to be put in. Just kidding. There's 4 arrows in the back just for your troubles. No worries about it. We still have 33 archers and 10 knights. And these guys do not want me to have a voice by the end of this video, but I am happy to bring it to you as I can. We do see that Valdemar is now deciding to, let's just section off this. Doesn't realize that his berries have already been taken from Divine. A little bit of a theft, if you will. These lads and ladies over here just sniping some berries, no worries at all. We do see that the wall is going up now, and oh my god, I'm going to go back to this. Just kidding, they're just going to take that forward boar. And looks like we're going to be kind of gearing back up, time going again. We see Divine dropping some forward archery ranges, and they're actually going to be taking the berries inside the actual base of Valdemar. We love to see that. Divine is playing this map with reckless abandon. Instead of going for a farm transition, just goes, I'm just to take all your resources. No qualms at all. It doesn't even matter. Both players, a gentleman's agreement yet again to not deal with this situation over here. But these villagers are now officially walled in. They cannot get out no matter what happens. And now we see that Valdemar is trying to deal with this forward berry bush. Just thinking like, my goodness, the audacity over here. We have 14 more Zhuge are now on the way. 68 in total. Man, 1 mangonel would be the absolute ruin for each side of these things, but no one's in Castle Age just yet. Everyone's investing heavily. We might see some Castle Age come out soon for Divine, though, because he's sitting on a lot of resources, sitting in a very, very good spot at the current moment. But Valdemar knows he has to defend this, or at least push this monstrosity out of its base. And there they go. There's the engage onto these archers. These Zhuge mass are starting to clump. They're absolutely ripping apart this French mass. The French mass is finally, now the knights are finally in onto these Zhuge, which is exactly where they want to be. The archers are actually moving forward to do even more damage. More and more Zhuge fire is coming in, and more archer fire. It looks like both sides are fighting underneath each encampment. We have a fully solidified outpost over here for the French player, and we have a Barbican in the backhand side. These Zhuge are trying their best to get the best engage they possibly can. We do have some spearmen going forward, which is actually great. These knights are being completely nullified from this Barbican, which is actually a perfect fight for Valdemar. You love to see that if you're the Chinese player. These knights got absolutely cooked by 3 spearmen. That's absolutely devastating. And now the knights are in on the backhand side, but they're looping all the way around. And in the meantime, it looks like that Valdemar is able to get a really, really good engage. And I think this is going to be one of the final battles of the game. We're still streaming in, the knights are still streaming in, but the Zhuge are they're in your base, and so are the French knights. This Barbican is actually quite beefy because it is a landmark, 5,000 health. So even though these 2 rams have been sitting there unperturbed, taking this down, it's not going down anytime soon. The knight mass is slowly starting to dwindle, and the Zhuge mass is still at 46 strong, and now they're in on the archers, and look at how quickly they absolutely decimate these squishier units. It looks like the Barbican's actually going to survive this entire time, and looks like Valdemars are going to be able to push this back and take out even more. This forward encampment is going to be the first thing to be going down. Look at how quickly these bad boys evaporate this tower. Look at this. 1, 2, I think it's going to take about 7. It's like how many licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like 1, 2, 3. But this is absolutely crazy, isn't it? Like, look at how quick this goes. And it looks like this is going to be taken down before the next engage. Not quite. It's still up and alive, but it will be burning down slowly but surely. The French knights are trying to do something about it to stop this from happening. But we do see the Zhuge are now in onto this back line, absolutely evaporating them. There's only 2 spearmen out in the map, but these Zhuge do not care. They don't need no front line. They don't need it at all because they can still do what you do best, which is front line and deal damage all at the same time. 55 strong, still out on the map, and we're seeing that Divine is starting to lose a little bit of steam on the backhand side, has used so many resources, and the Zhuge are starting to move a little bit forward, getting a little bit more bold, and here we go. The knights are slowly starting to cook down. We only have 5 knights left on the map, down to 4, and now down to 3. once these Shugenus start to fire onto this backline, it's going to be quickly over as she grows. And you can see now we have horsemen streaming in, which means that is the tall tale sign that there are out of gold. That's what happens when you can see even like late game. If you start to see horsemen, it probably means that the other side is out of gold or is low on it. And there they are. They're completely evaporated, completely pushed back from this. And Valdemar has a 25 villager lead at the current moment. Has a full granary transition back here, doing quite well. The only thing he's pretty low on is woods, but we also found a new companion over here. Was able to clear these out and take back his berries. Valdemar on the backhand side of all of that also has gone up to Castle Age. Actually should probably pull back just for a hot second to wait for this upgrade, because if this Shugnu upgrade comes in, they're going to make light work of this forward military for the French. It looks like that's what Valdemar is doing, just trying to extend this fight as best he can. Just kiting away, doing a lot of damage to these knights. But once this upgrade ticks in, they should be sitting in a very, very good spot. And there we go, actually pushing them back. Regardless, we do have a ram over here trying to do a little bit of damage. But these villagers and the torches are going to make light work of that ram. And it's about to tick in. We're 6 seconds away, so Valdemar smartly takes a fight right now, and then they're going to pop mid-fight. Here they go, 1, 2, 3, boom, and look at the difference. They're absolutely shredding now, and they take a lot less damage as well. Divine sees those silver hats and gets a little bit spooked almost instantly when you can start to see that the French knights are absolutely cooked by about 2 waves of these volleys. And now Valdemar can push out to start to do some damage across the map. Here come Palace Guards, which are probably one of the best frontline units in the game / raiding units. And it looks like Valdemar can now start to push out. He can now also kill all these forward French bases, all these resources that Divine has been taking across the map. He can start to actually go out and do. And there we go. The Castle Age Shuganu are now engaging on the French forces. The French knights are the only thing standing in the way of a complete evaporation of these archers. And it looks like the knights are going to be going down one by one. And there are the Castle Age Shuganu absolutely decimating anything that they put in front of them. There is more Palace Guards and Shuganu rolling in as we speak. I think this is going to be a good game called quite soon, because Divine cannot be holding this army. And there's nothing left on the side for the French player. Divine did everything they possibly could, but Valdemar was able to hold with the best of them. And there it is. There's the GGs. What a game. My voice is cooked, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like and subscribe the video. I'd really, really appreciate it. We're on our journey to 1,000. And if you also want to check out my Twitch channel, I would also highly appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.